Hey guys, I'm going to want to try to include something in this channel, and it's just going to be interviews with people who come and stop by my shop. The first one I'm going to be doing is a guy by the name of John Stene, and he's been a buddy of mine for quite a few years, and I've just really grown to appreciate him. And one of the interesting things about John, not only is a phenomenal wood carpenter, but he's also um, quite a phenomenon on Instagram. He's got over 50,000 followers. He has a very engaging story basically every day. And I'd encourage you to follow him. But he stopped by, he's a buddy, he stopped by the shop. And so we had ourselves a bit of a visit. We had some fun. So yeah, check out the video. You'll have a good time. Again, remember, subscribe and give it the old thumbs up, okay? And try to follow. I'm going to try to get as much interesting intent or content on here. And this week sometime, I'm going to be looking at some genuine Volkswagen motors that a buddy of mine has squirreled away in his shop. And so I'll see if I can't work a deal on them or something. If nothing else, I need to steal one little spring off one. So hopefully, it's just tiny little spring. Hopefully I can get that from him. So anyways, stay tuned. Hang on. It'll be a good time. Thanks. Wow, I have been putting in a lot of time. I'm pretty happy with my progress. It's here. It's time. It's time to start the motor. So just give me a second. I'm about to turn the key. Okay, I'm turning the key. Do you hear that? Do you hear that? That's my buddy John. He's the motor. Okay, I'm sitting here with my good buddy John Stene. John, you may know him from Stene Woodworking. He is a Instagram phenomena and not so good on YouTube, just saying. I've looked at his numbers. But 50,000 people following him on YouTube or on Instagram, so that's amazing. And I have 40. So anyway, John, how did that work? How did you make that happen?
Oh, well, it was honestly just being stupid, really. People like following stupid people, so.
I have hope! I have hope! I can do it! You guys heard that? I have hope! People are going to follow me on YouTube because not so sharp! I like this! I finally found something I would be good at, being dumb. This is awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. So, what have been some of the best things that you've done that have just had phenomenal results?
Honestly, it's probably just showing a process that can be easily understood, that people, that's not only interesting, but they can understand the whole process and they can see it from start to finish.
Okay, so when I'm doing stuff on my motor and stuff like that, then really, it's really hard to show this from start to finish process because it's a very, very long process. So I guess just stages would be all I could do then.
Yeah, you want to give context. So you want to say, you want to have your end point of the previous explanation kind of flow into the start of the next one.
Okay.
To kind of give you a little, to give the people who are following along just a little bit of context, so they're not having to really try very hard to understand what you're doing.
The trouble is my ADD doesn't allow for that.
Well, then you have to make that entertaining so that people will try harder to be able to follow the entertaining side of it.
Okay. Yes, my ADD is a significant challenge, and I'm always doing things wrong and challenging, and yeah, what can I say? Not the sharpest guy, but hey, I have fun. I have fun, and one of the things I do like about YouTube is that I've been able to bring whoever wants to follow me on my journey. And so sometimes it's entertaining, sometimes it's a little bit more serious, but it's all about the journey. And I want people to walk with me in the journey. I do. I want people to say, hey, he's just an average guy, and I really am. And an important part of my journey is my faith journey in that too. And so, and I've appreciated, John, when you put up a few things about some of your faith journey and some of you working at in worship and stuff like that in your church and stuff. But yeah, it's because that's a part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And we need, I wouldn't be who I am if it wasn't for my faith journey. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know who you are. You wouldn't know who I am.
You know what? I got a story. I got a story about John, and the story is this. As some of you know, I am a pastor. I've been pastoring in the Regina area for a while, and John came on a ministry team to the church, and I was pastoring a little inner city church, and he came on a ministry team to my little inner city church, and I put him on the spot, and I said, John, it's your turn to preach, like in 10 minutes. Can you do it? And he said, and you know, John, he's kind of cocky, and you know, he's all American. He's from Montana. Can he do it? He know he could do. He could do a good job. And he got up there and he preached just a amazing sermon. And throughout the sermon, he used horse illustrations. And we had this young lady in our church that looked at John, and her heart went pitter patter. And she heard his horse illustrations, and she got all kinds of excited for him, and I had a very real privilege about 2 or 3 years later to perform their wedding, and so that's just been a wonderful part of the journey. So yeah,
10 years ago.
That's 10 years ago. So yeah, and you've been up in Canada for 10 years.
Ooh, yeah.
What's the thing that drives you most crazy about being in Canada?
I don't know. I would say poutine.
Yeah,
Poutine.
French on everything.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't find anything to be too crazy. It's just another place to live.
I had a buddy of mine that was up here from he was from Michigan, and he was watching. You know, they were reaching out into the First Nations community, and I went into their cupboard one day. They were living in Regina. I went to the cupboard one day and I looked, and I was just trying to find a cup to get a glass of water, and they said, "Oh yeah, just up in the cup." So I opened up the wrong cupboard and I looked, and they had all these cans, and on every single can, someone had taken a black marker and crossed off all the French.
Oh man, yeah, that was something. I was like, oh, I wonder how much money, and then on top of that, how many resources they could save by only printing English on everything.
I thought you were going to say French. Then I would have no idea what I'm eating. But,
I don't know what I'm eating half the time anyway.
You have a creative wife. Anyway, John and I have been friends for a lot of years, and I'm pretty excited about his journey and just thrilled about his and his wife's relationship with each other, and also watching their spiritual journey too. So anyway, thanks for watching. You know, you never know who might drop in my garage and hang out with me, and I'll do a 5-minute interview just to find out who they are, see if they're interesting at all. And I mean, and yeah, check it out. Stene Woodworking. I'll try to put a link. I don't know, somewhere on here. You'll see it. It'll say Stene Woodworking, and follow him. He's entertaining. He's opinionated, and periodically he's irritating. So it's worth a watch. Thanks a lot. Talk to you soon.